Johnson on the Audrey Johnson Show. We are here in Dumont, and Dumont is an upcoming city right here in Bergen County. But what is so special being here today? We are here with Judy Parker. Judy Parker is an M.B.A. She's a marketer. She's been in real estate for the last 20 years. She has a strategy that she would like to bring to you, to share with you how you could build a foundation and build wealth, because she's done it. And today, we're going to learn about Judy. Not only about Judy Parker, but also about Judyville. So let's talk to Judy and find out what has she done and what's new with building that foundation with wealth. Judy, share with us, what is going on in Dumont?
What's going on in Dumont is that I'm purchasing all the commercial, residential, and investment properties little by little, trying to grow my Judyville empire. And that's what's going on.
Now, Judy, this is your first building, and it's right here in Dumont. And Dumont is an amazing place. And so you have several people. How does it feel being here, watching this, your first baby?
I'm very happy with this building. It's well built, it's fully rented, I have no vacancies, I've got great tenants in this building. This was my first one and I love this building.
Judy, what do you want to tell us about your second beautiful property here?
This building I purchased years ago, and it's very large. It was very expensive, but it was well worth the purchase.
So you didn't let it scare you at all?
Oh, it was very scary when I first purchased it, but I am a risk taker and I decided to buy it. It was one of my better moves, one of my better purchases. I own the whole corner, and 2 months ago I just purchased the house around the corner right next to the building, so I now own an additional piece of property attached to this building.
That is so fabulous, Judy. How do you spot the beauty of where to pick your building?
I have a lot of criteria that I use before I purchase a building. I like to make sure that there's parking facilities, because there's not much parking in Dumont, so any building I buy I like to have a parking lot, and I like to have it generate a lot of rental income, so I like to have the more tenants the better, and it's preferably got to be on a main drag.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, how do you go about picking your tenants? How do you know a tenant is a good prospect, or this tenant who is going to be here to stay and this is someone you want in your building?
A lot of times I purchase buildings and they already have tenants in them. Okay. If I do purchase a building with vacant space, I do pre-qualify my tenants and run credit checks on them before I lease space to them.
I see.
This building has a retail space in the front on the first floor, and then it has 2 apartments, one on the second floor, and then there's an apartment in the rear. And because the property is so deep, I also rent out parking spaces. Generates additional rental income for me.
You're brilliant. You're a smart businesswoman. What is your criteria for your client?
Well, for my potential client, I usually like to have them start with a small 2-family house to learn about being a landlord, learn about investment properties, and from that point forward, then I will step up. If they've learned enough, I will increase the education to get them to purchase a small building.
We love Judyville. How did you come up with such an exciting name, Judyville? I mean, you hear of Judyville, wow.
Actually, I didn't come up with the name, my husband did. I started buying properties probably about 10 or 15 years ago, little by little, and started spending more and more time at my properties, managing them, and I wasn't home making dinner for my husband, and he'd usually say, "Where were you? Were you at Judyville?" So the name kind of stuck, and I capitalized on it and trademarked it, and that's what I call my little growing empire here.
That's awesome, Judy. So now we understand you have this strategy that you want to help everyone right now.
I actually found that by buying up all these rental properties, every month when I opened my mailbox, it was like Christmas. The mailbox was loaded with rent checks, and the light bulb went off in my head, and I felt that I could impart knowledge to people to show them how to achieve what I've achieved, which is freedom. When you're generating rent checks every month, you have freedom. You're not locked to your day job. You have all this income coming in, and it really helps.
Wow. So wow, that's a wow. So you went to your mailbox And there in the mailbox was Christmas because you keep getting these checks because you decide to buy up buildings and then rent them out.
Correct, Audrey.
What is it about this particular city that you really love and you have all your properties here?
Everything's affordable here. Housing's affordable, commercial properties are affordable, investment properties are affordable. It's a great town. So that's why I decided to invest in the town of Dumont. And I try to keep all of my investments in one town to have a critical mass here. And I stay on the good side of the building department and the fire department. They all know me, and it's just easier for me to manage the properties and keep an eye on them when they're all in the same town.
That's wise. It's hard work.
Absolutely. Extremely hard work, dedication, sacrifice over the years. It is a lot of work, but I love it. I enjoy what I'm doing. It's like playing the game of Monopoly in real life, and I have a lot of fun doing it.
Judy, you had to admire someone growing up and being in this business. I know you've been in it for 20 years. What called you to be in this real estate? We all said we have a calling, but what was the calling that got you into the real estate? I know you mentioned the checks in the mailbox, but what was it?
Actually, I admire Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki very much. I've read all their books. I've done a lot of research and use that as guidance for building my business.
Donald Trump is a great guy, and I love Donald Trump. You love him. You've admired him. What is it about his empire that you believe that what he's doing that you can do right now as a woman?
I admire Donald Trump because he achieves his objectives and his goals, even when there's naysayers and people knocking him down.
And you also, Robert, we know all these things that he has done.
I admire that he grew his empire, and he has excellent books. I've learned a lot from them, and I use that as my guideline to growing my business.
What is it about Judy Parker that makes Judy Parker, that name, Judyville, for everyone want to follow, and because she's been successful?
Well, in addition to growing my personal real estate portfolio, I've helped a lot of people sell houses, purchase houses, buy investment properties. I am the real estate agent in New Jersey. If you're looking to buy rental properties, investment properties, call me, Judy Parker. I'm based out of Century 21 Concept 100 in Dumont, New Jersey, and I will help you. Give me a call.
Judy, your goal today is to let our audience know a little bit about you. Basically, if they're just moving to town, wherever they go, especially Dumont or in Bergen County, call Judy Parker because you are the ears, the eyes, and everything for them to come to. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm one of the few real estate agents in the area who not only talks the talk, but I walk the walk. I own 4 houses and 4 commercial buildings in my portfolio, and my portfolio is growing. And I'm confident that I can teach people how to buy the appropriate property for their requirements, and teach them how to buy investment property and managing rents and tenants. And there's a lot involved, and I'm confident I can teach my clients how to do that, and they can be successful and wealthy like I am.